got to give yourself the opportunity to see it, because no one's going to show it to you.
You may show it to us, to those who've never had a reading with you or spent time with you. What can one expect when they dedicate an hour with Dan King?
What can they expect in a session with me? Absolute brutal, but unconditionally loving truth. And I say absolutely brutal because life isn't all puppies and butterflies, so to speak, and nor is it intended to be. There is this huge misconception with spirituality that there's a certain way to be, and it's or you got to be positive all the time, and life shouldn't affect you, and ultimately you should become numb to shit, and that's not real at all. In fact, it's completely opposite of what spirituality is really about, which is authenticity. And life isn't supposed to be all puppies and butterflies. Again, when it is, what do we really learn, right? I mean, it's during the most fucked up parts of life that's when we truly grow. It instigates that evolution that we actually come here for. In a session with Dan King, brutal truth, but unconditionally loving truth. You're going to hear what you need to hear, not what you fucking want to hear, at all. You're gonna hear what you need to hear, and that could come from spirits who have passed on. A lot of times I'm just picking up on the person's higher self, because there's a part of us that know already who we are and what we're here for. That infinitely, not just infinitely intelligent, but that infinite part of us that chose to come here, and that chose every single part of what we go through when we're here. Knowing is that every single part that is necessary for whatever we came here to learn, whoever we came here to be, and ultimately whatever we came here to do. And that can come, again, that information can come from various sources. It could be a loved one who's passed on. It could be from your higher self. It could be from a spirit guide, which we all have. But ultimately, it's going to be what you need to hear at that point in your life in order to live the best life possible. Ultimately, so that you can be your authentic self, so that you can live the freedom that you came here for. And the only way to be your authentic self is to come to a certain level of self-acceptance, otherwise known as self-love. Because if you can't accept who you are, how the fuck are you going to be it? And if there's one thing I want people to realize is, not only are you a piece of infinite intelligence that cannot fuck up, but you literally are created and you emanate from an all-knowing source that can't fuck up. And that doesn't mean just what you go through in life. It means also every single aspect about you. And until you love you, you can't really expect anybody else to be able to love you. And that's why I think a lot of people go through these cycles of shitty relationships and being mistreated. Is because it's just a reflection of what you think about your damn self. And that's not God trying to be a dick. It's God trying to show you that you are creating your own existence. You are creating your own reality. And yeah, we come here with a specific point A to point B to get to and to accomplish, but there's a shit ton of roads there. And it's those shit ton of roads that's our choice. That's our part in it. We can't change certain things. For example, my stutter. I came here, that was pre-wired shit that I had to go through because it was so integral to my growth. So there's certain things that you cannot avoid because, again, they're so pivotal. They're so important to your life path and to what you're intended to do here. But in the meantime, between time, it's all about choice. But people don't realize they have a choice. People don't realize they're not even choosing. People don't realize they're living from a highly subconscious part of their life, a very reactive, a very programmed part of their being. Because again, no one takes the time to stop and look, especially at themselves. Because we're taught that everything we want is external, is outside of us.